Good morning, everybody. I'm glad you've once again found your way to this video playlist. As I mentioned last Sunday, we're joining in as of today with the ecumenical movement around the world to celebrate the season of creation or creation time. Now, as opposed to Lent or Advent, creation time is a relatively new season in the church year. It was introduced by the patriarch of the Eastern churches, Demetrios I, in 1989, and gradually more and more Christian churches around the world joined in. The church in Britain and Ireland adopted the concept of creation time in 2008. And then in 2016, Pope Francis, our current Pope of the Roman Catholic Church, declared the 1st of September as an annual World Day of Prayer for the Care of Creation. Today, there is an ecumenical steering committee who provides resources to celebrate this season of creation and to bring attention to it. And this steering committee is made up of the World Council of Churches, churches from different denominations, including our own, and NGOs such as Arosha and Christian Aid. Now, since the 1960s, scientists have been warning people and politicians of an increasing climate crisis. Today, we're faced with climate change, the extinction of species, the destruction of ecosystems, and an enormous mountain of waste and pollution that we cannot seem to get rid of. In the 21st century, there has been an increasing awareness of these environmental issues among the public at large. An example of which is the climate strikes in 2009, which showed us that at least the younger people, the youths, are taking this climate crisis that we're in very seriously. In 2020, the global pandemic around COVID-19 showed us very close by and very concretely the urgency and seriousness of the crisis that we're in, and how clearly that we need more just and sustainable systems and a new way of living in this common home that we share, the earth. It's this increasing awareness of this environmental crisis that motivated the church to set aside a time in the church year to particularly bring these issues forward. And so in that sense, this season is new. But at the same time, we are able to draw on deep roots in Scripture when we focus on these issues. For God, the Father, has always been the creator of heaven and earth and all that is in it. And Christ has always been the Redeemer of all of creation. The Spirit has always been life giver and sustainer of all life. And it is this triune God, who is creator, redeemer, and sustainer, that we praise for his mighty and loving acts in this season of creation. And as you will see, we will be able to draw on old Christian prayers such as Hildegard von Bingen, which will be our opening prayer during this season, and St. Francis of Assisi. So you see, this crisis may be new. Creation care as one of the responsibilities of a Christian is not new. And finally, this season of creation gives us the theological framework for our Harvest Festival, which we will be celebrating on September 27. So this is our calendar for creation time, the season of creation 2020. The theme that is chosen is a jubilee for the earth, and I will speak more about that in a few moments. First, let us briefly look at the calendar. So for the next 2 weeks, we have video playlists such as this one, and then a Bible study at Zoom at noon. And then the week after, we'll celebrate Holy Communion at a Harvest Festival. We'll have 2 activities going on. First, as we do every year, I invite you to bring non-perishable foods to church, which we will then donate to the Protestant Social Center. But then additionally, which is new this year, we have a second activity. Because due to the corona crisis, le grand nettoyage, which is actually le grand nettoyage du printemps, the big spring cleanup, organized by the Walloon Region Initiative Wallonie Plus Propre, was postponed. So normally it's held in spring, and because of the lockdown that was going on at the time, they postponed it until now, which means that it falls in our season of creation, which is very fortuitous. So we will be joining in this initiative. So it's organized by a Walloon government organization. So that makes it really easy for us to join in. All we need to do is show up and help and clean up trash in the streets and the neighborhood around the church where we are located. Bert will share a bit more information via Facebook. But as I said, basically all we need to do is show up, be there, and get our hands a little dirty. Gloves are mandatory, so your hands will not get too dirty, but we have gloves at church thanks to COVID-19, so you don't even have to bring those. So this is a way to help keeping our city clean and also spreading awareness in the community. So I hope you all feel very motivated to come and help out. Now, after cleaning up our common home on the 27th, we will go out into it on the 4th of October. That's the day when we celebrate St. Francis of Assisi, which it means it's a very good day to be as close to nature as we can. More information about what that activity will look like will follow. So in the next video, I will shortly explain what it means, a jubilee for the earth, and why this was chosen as our annual theme. But first, let us open this time of worship, worship and prayer with our first hymn, which is one that you will hear more often in the coming weeks, as it was written by St. Francis of Assisi himself, at least the words, not the music. And it's a beautiful hymn about creation, praising their creator, all creatures of our God and King.